Goeiedag! Good day, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And let me just say as a starting off point that this channel is largely motivated in helping and assisting a particular minority group or two in South Africa, largely the white and the Indian communities, which are being totally persecuted by this racist ANC government. Now, what makes things really disturbing is when one of the wealthiest men in South Africa, Johan Rupert, does absolutely nothing to help starving whites all over the country. He does nothing. He does nothing. He's not doing a damn thing. He's party to the genocide that is happening right now in South Africa in these white concentration camps, which they pretty well are, because they're locked into these places. They can't get food. This is disgusting. I'm getting reports of children that look like skeletons, like, you know, those images of 1902 in the concentration camps during the Boer War. That's what's happening in South Africa right now before our eyes. And you got this fat cat, Johan Rupert, and also Rupert Oppenheimer, who are doing nothing to alleviate the situation of other white people who are in extreme distress. This is an absolutely appalling situation. And shame on you, Johan Rupert. Shame on you, Rupert Oppenheimer. You are a disgusting creature. You're doing nothing to help these people who are being persecuted by this ANC government. And there is so much evidence of that. Just go and have a look at my friggin' videos. You'll see it all there. Even food parcels that people and charities put together for the community they want to help. No, the ANC government is saying, no, you've got to put it in a centralized area, and it only goes to the black people in the townships. The white people have been completely cut out. This is a genocide we are witnessing right now in this lockdown in South Africa. I'm calling it out. It's a genocide against poor white people living in squatter camps. I've got a video I'm hoping to be able to post tomorrow or later this morning, South African time, with a fellow in Pietermaritzburg who's leaving Pietermaritzburg. He loves Pietermaritzburg, but he says it's too dangerous. He says they're looting, it's anarchy. He says the shops are being stripped. This is going on right now in South Africa. And guess what? There's not one white person involved in this. They're sitting at home. They're in terror. They're living in absolute terror. This is a shocking situation that the fake news, the mainstream media are not touching. It is a disgraceful reflection on how crap the mainstream media are. They've got their own narrative and they don't give a whatever about what is actually going on in South Africa. This is shocking beyond belief. And I got an email which really set me off. I'm sorry about that, but I got an email from this lady, Bella, who says, "Hi Scott, just to let you know that I also applied for the Sakuma Relief Fund on the night before it closed, Sunday night, the 5th of April. It was very anxious about my financial situation then, and I dared to hope." Now, the Sakuma Relief Fund is that billion rand that tight ass Johan Rupert didn't donate, he loaned to people. You know, what a wonderful philanthropic figure. What a load of crap. Johan Rupert, I'm calling you out. You make Scrooge look like Father Christmas. You are just a disgusting piece of work. So anyway, look, this is what Bella has to say. On the site, the promise was made that we will hear from the fund within 1 week. I had some trouble with the site, which resulted in me accidentally sending in 3 incomplete applications. Each of these generated a reference number, which appeared in separate emails. I was notified that the applications were incomplete after a week, and that I had 1 week to send out the outstanding documents. which I ignored since I knew my complete application was in. After another week, I got more notifications stating that I failed to send the outstanding documents and that these applications were therefore unsuccessful. So these applications were all very well followed up on. For my successful application, I also received a confirmation of receipt with a reference number. After 2 weeks of not hearing anything about this one, I started calling the phone number that was in the confirmation email. But no matter when I called, the number was never ever answered. I also sent an email asking for feedback with my reference number in the subject of the email, and was very discouraged when the days went by without hearing anything. At this stage, I remembered having to tick the race box, which was suspicious at the time. What does my race have to do with a relief in a pandemic? I was tempted at this time to sink into a state of depression about my situation. The situation of having to deal with being white in a racist South Africa, that I was forced to close my practice, with which I support my family, due to lockdown, forced to support my 2 employees whom I had to send home, with clients who were too afraid about their own finances that many did not pay me for the services I had rendered in the month of March. Sakuma gave me false hope because Rupert is a white man, that someone cared, and if it was not for help from my extended family, I would have been tempted to become really depressed during this terrible time. Now, I have to tell you guys, this is a tragedy that's happening in South Africa. There are so many minority white people committing suicide right now in South Africa as a direct result of this racist, genocidal ANC government run by Cyril Ramaphosa. There is a genocide against the whites going on right now. And I can tell you now that last week I spoke to one of the very senior people in Boerelichion, and they said, look, the tipping point has been reached. South Africa is in anarchy. And he's on the money. South Africa is in anarchy. And the army in South Africa is a complete disgrace. It's ridiculous. You know, I'm not going to say what's going to happen, but I know what's going to happen. And I think there's a silver lining in the sky for people. And I'm just hoping that this happens. All right, let's continue. So anyway, Belly says, oh, and let me add lastly, the site specifically stated in the frequently asked questions that you apply for 25,000 Rand and that you will not be required to pay it back, but they encourage you to pay it forward to someone else in need who might need help. I feel that he should have been honest. Then I would have not bothered to spend the time and effort to apply, to have hope and to wait for an answer. I do not blame him if he wants to help only certain racial groups. He can do what he wants with his money. I only would have liked him to be brave enough to be honest from the start, or at least let me know that my application was unsuccessful with the reason why. And then she concludes by saying, thank you for your channel. This episode is bringing me some closure. Sorry that a really rich white man can cause his own people such grief by making false promises in a really critical time in history. And I'm going to make sure that Johann Rupert and Nicky Oppenheimer and the rest of the Oppenheimer family are remembered for one thing at this time, and that is how they never came to the rescue of the minority white and Indian groups who are being persecuted by this ANC government. What did these billionaires do? Oh, they pandered to the ANC government, didn't they? Because they wanted to look after their empires. Completely disgraceful. You've shown your true colours, arseholes. Pog my horn. All right, guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates. Please like this video. Please share this video. And above all, please stay safe.